Good morning and welcome to Cup of Tech, casual conversations, usually over a cup of coffee. My cup today says throw kindness like confetti. It's got coffee in it. What do you have in your cup this morning? I'm Allison Schlofel and I'm the coordinator of digital integration for South Bend Community School Corporation. And today, on this episode of Cup of Tech, we're going to talk about digital citizenship in our virtual, online, blended learning environments. We're first going to start with the definition of digital citizenship from dictionary.com. And dictionary.com says digital citizen is a person who develops the skills and knowledge to effectively use the internet and other digital technology, especially in order to participate responsibly in social and civic activities. We're going to take that a step further and talk about the anatomy of a digital citizen. This is adapted from the ISTE standards for students, and I created the infographic using canva.com. The ISTE standards for students talks about building a knowledge constructor, somebody who can critically curate a variety of resources using digital tools to construct their knowledge, produce creative artifacts, and make meaningful experiences. They also talk about building a computational thinker, someone who can develop and employ strategies for understanding problems and figuring out how to use technologies to solve them. ISTE talks about building an innovative designer, somebody who can use the design process through the use of technology in order to solve problems by creating new, useful, or innovative ways and solutions. To continue the anatomy of a digital citizen adapted for the ISTE standards for students, they talk about building a creative communicator, someone who can communicate clearly and express themselves creatively through a variety of different platforms and technologies, styles, formats, etc. ISTE asks to build an empowered learner, someone who can leverage technology to take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating their own learning goals. The sixth attribute of a digital citizen is a global collaborator. They can use digital tools to broaden their perspective and enrich their own learning by collaborating with others, both locally and globally. And lastly, ISTE does define a digital citizen as someone who can recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world by keeping themselves safe, legal, and ethical. So, how do we build digital citizens in a virtual setting, in our virtual online blended learning environment? There are a variety of digital citizenship resources out there that are kind of just grab and go ready for teachers to utilize. I'm going to talk about my three favorites. The first being Internet Awesome, which is a collaboration between Google and Internet Keep Safe Coalition. They offer a free online program that offers kids this Be Internet Awesome curriculum, and the kids, it's very gamified. Students can go to Interland and play different games in order to learn how to be internet awesome, be internet safe, be internet kind. I really like utilizing this tool as a bell ringer or, just as a quick way to gamify that digital citizen content. Another resource is Common Sense Education. It is a K-12 digital citizenship curriculum that also has interactive games that teaches students how to make safe, smart, and ethical decisions in the digital world. These are really quick grab and go lessons that teachers can implement into their classroom. Lastly is Brain Pop. They offer a collection of topics from digital etiquette and cyberbullying to information privacy and media literacy. It has fun, interactive ways as well to help students behave responsibly and safely in this digital world. So as I said, these are just quick grab and goes for teachers. They might be used for bell ringers or Friday fun, things like that. But how do we integrate this into our actual lessons and into our actual content? We're going to focus on the do's. Digital citizens do use technology to make their community better. Digital citizens do engage respectfully online with people who have different beliefs than them. Digital citizens do use technology to make their voice heard by public leaders and shape public policy. And digital citizens do determine the validity of online sources of information. So these are things that we want to focus on in our classrooms. And we want to integrate them into our online blended and learning environment. One way you can do this is through that digital etiquette. Do you have a set of processes and policies in your classroom for how to act online? Have you already went through that with students? Is it part of your introductory module where you kind of determine as a class what is the correct way to act in an online blended and learning environment? Uh, Project-based learning is a really great way to build digital citizens, utilizing audiences outside of the four walls. This helps with that locally and global learner and the collaborator. How can we take our lessons, and whether we have students in different cities or different states, how can we utilize these lessons to build projects and teach our students to collaborate effectively while also being a digital citizen? Third, we can utilize our discussions. As a virtual online blended and learning teacher, we know, and a student, we know that discussions are vital to the learning environment. But are we utilizing them to the best of their ability? Are we asking students to just simply type their response to a question and then respond to two peers and never look back at it? Or can we take that a step further and ask students to return to the same discussion thread and continue those conversations in order to, work on that iron sharpens iron? How can we better ourselves throughout these discussions, and return to them and reflect and continue those conversations as the course goes on? And lastly, do you have lessons in your course that help students cite credible sources? This is a huge part of being a digital citizen. Are we giving credit where credit is due as we continue in research and things like that? So are we citing credible sources? This can be done in anything, any class, any content. Are you citing the sources in order to be an effective digital citizen? Thank you for listening to this episode of Cup of Tech. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. I can be found on Twitter as well. And as any good digital citizen should do, I will give my credits for this beautiful presentation template and my images and the fonts. Have a great day